Welcome to Lesson 3, the Windows Interface. In this lesson, we will dive into two parts of the Windows interface, explaining what's available in the Windows environment of the ClearTouch, and going briefly over the Chorus app, which once again is formerly known as Snowflake. The ClearTouch screen will automatically boot into the last known configuration you had set. What does this mean? If you have Windows selected as your input device, when ClearTouch powers on and loads, it will boot to the Windows environment by default. This is a good feature because it will save you time when getting your lessons ready before class. Now we're going to show you the Windows environment. The Chorus app within the Windows environment, similar to the Chorus app within the actual ClearTouch Android side. However, Windows allows you to access more of your files easier, and it's very similar to most teachers' desktops because it's running the same Windows environment that the teachers' desktops are running. So from within the Windows environment, the app gets installed by an administrator or yourself. So once you install the app, we're going to go ahead and run it just to show you a little bit about the app and what it has available for you to use as an instructional tool. You can use this app with the touchscreen. You can also use it with a tablet. Some teachers that want to use it from a distance can use a writing tablet or a MobiPad to also operate the different tools within the Chorus app. So as you boot up, you'll notice that you have the main set of tools available for you here. YouTube is one of them. Lesson activities. The lesson activities will give you different interactive lessons and interactive activities that you and your students can work on inside the classroom. There are some that are more competitive, so you could use the different zones, which is this app right here. You could use the Zones app to split the screen into 2 or 4 or 6 different zones, and you could have 6 potential students working on problems up in front of the classroom at the same time. Google Docs, access any of your docs and annotate over them if you want to. The media, which basically is a drive to your computer. So if you want to import different pictures or view different pictures, you can do it that way. You also have access to the cloud. So your OneDrive, you can sync to your OneDrive. And then your just typical web browser right here on top of that. So as we scroll over to the next one, you'll see we have what's called STEM. Now, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. That's going to have most of your math apps available for you to use inside the classroom. Obviously, an English teacher probably would only use the clock app because they could use it as a start-stop timer. But for the most part, the different apps within the STEM section of the Chorus app are going to be used by your mathematics teachers. As we scroll over to miscellaneous, I don't foresee anyone using this one inside of the classroom. This seems more of a elementary grade application drawer. Puzzles, jigsaw, piano, drums. I guess if you just wanted to have a free day and have the kids mess around with it, you could use the miscellaneous apps for that one. You do have the geography app if you wanted to show the different countries and the different map of the world in that section right there. As you scroll over to bookmarks, this one is pretty valuable. Teachers who have specific websites, for instance, Google Classroom, Tango, the different instructional sites that the teachers will use inside the classroom can bookmark those to have an easy access within the Chorus app itself. Having the bookmarks option available is pretty valuable for teachers to get to different websites quickly. Now you have your favorites. This one can be edited as you go along. You'll see that it's pre-populated with a few things that just gives you an idea of the different apps or different favorites that you can add to this particular part of the Chorus app. Now we're back to the original, which is the tool section. So from here, we're going to cover the highlight of this section, which is the whiteboard. As I've said in lessons before, the whiteboard is an ever-expanding whiteboard that allows you to incorporate images, documents, websites, and annotation tools as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on the whiteboard for now, just to open that up. And so you'll see here, you have the whiteboard. It's a massive whiteboard. It's infinite. On the bottom are your tools. So you'll see the different brushes that you have. You have the pencil, the paintbrush, markers, line tool. You have different colors that you can select from. So if you wanted to use one color to annotate one part, circle it, and then another part and another color to annotate or circle a different part, you could do that too. On the bottom, you have the eraser tool, the navigation or the acts. This tool right here acts as a mouse. Looks like two crosshairs together. You have the www tool, which is the website tool. It'll open up a browser within the window. You also have the image tool, which will import images and different files that you want inside of this whiteboard. So from the waffle down here on the bottom left, you can click on it. You'll see that you can export what you've currently created into a PDF. You can send to a different app when you download it. For instance, you can probably send to OneDrive, you can send to your Google Drive. You can import old files if you have lessons that you've saved in the past that you want to re-teach. You can import those into this one. And this next feature is pretty cool. It's a mini map. So the mini map basically shows you your entire canvas right here. We'll go into more into detail into that in a few minutes. Page flip, which flips the page. The center page actually takes you back to your original part. So if I end up having an entire canvas that I've created on here, and I want to go back to that first part that I've created, centering this page will do that. Locking the page allows you to stay on this current whiteboard right here instead of expanding it to the infinite whiteboard that's available to you as well. On the right hand side, we have some more tools. If you see this plus sign, this is basically a page tool that's available for you. The more pluses that you click on, the more canvases you're creating. So if you have 2 or 3 classes, for instance, you have a algebra class and a geometry class, you might not want to put all the content onto the same whiteboard. So clicking this plus item will now give you 2 canvases. If you can see on the right hand side, it added another one. So you can cycle back and forth between those two depending on the class that you're trying to teach. So for instance, I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. So here is the pen tool in black. So you can kind of go ahead and say, so here is the pen tool in black. So if we wanted to start typing out a math problem, we could easily do that. 1 + 1. So here's the pen tool. If we wanted to go ahead and start a lesson here, we could, give a little intro to the class. Welcome. So here's the pen tool right here. If we wanted to give a welcome to the class, we could do that easily on here by just writing it out. Welcome to cyber security. On top of that, if we wanted to go ahead and open up a website next to that, if we wanted to instruct, we could easily do that using your finger or your stylus on your drawing pad. You could select it, move it around. You could shrink it by pinching and zooming it. For this lesson, we're not going to go ahead and do that. We're just going to show you just the basic functions of this one. So from within it pops up a digital keyboard or an on-screen keyboard. You can easily type in anything you want here. It's a fully working browser. You can move it around as well. So if it was getting in your way, you can move it around. So now you have a website that's pulled up. You can annotate on it if you like. So you can say, all right, kids, I need you to pay attention to this particular lesson right here. We're going to go ahead and use that. Or you can point to things if you want. You can also erase. And all of this is done by either using your hands on the screen, touch screen, with 40 points of contact, or a digital tablet that you have. If you wanted to go ahead and get rid of this, go back to your button here, and you can trash this one. Now I'm going to go over a little bit about the infinite whiteboard capabilities that this application has. If you click on the mini map again, you'll see that we started on, it's got selected the Welcome to Cybersecurity. Now if we go ahead and just drag this up, you can use your fingers also to drag the screen around if you want. You drag it up, now we have a new, basically a new whiteboard that we can go ahead and start scribbling on or putting in applications or problems or whatever you want to do there. You can open up multiple browser windows and move those around. So now we're asking questions, we're moving around. If we need to go back to the original one, toggle that mini map again, and we can select here or drag down and move it around. If we wanted to open up another window, we could right here. Those right there are the basic functions that the Chorus app has. Still, functionality wise, it has a lot of extra options that you could use that I haven't really covered here, but that are available to you, like importing documents and images as well. If you decided, okay, well, I want to go back to your desktop, you can click this desktop here. It goes back to your desktop, but the application remains open on the bottom center of your screen. If you wanted to go back to your Chorus app, all you got to do is click on it, click back. Now we're back in the Chorus app, ready to continue our lesson. That, in a nutshell, is the Chorus app. The Windows side is very similar to what you're used to, so there shouldn't be any unfamiliarity with that. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope it's allowed you to see how powerful this tool is, and how you can maximize your instruction inside of the classroom.